Well, now we can look at the top 10 in our league table, the men who've qualified for our grand final. Mark Rennison leading the way with 40 points. Will Gollop on 38. Dimi Mavropoulos and Trevor Hopkins both on 35. Trevor Reeves on 34. John Smith also on 34, but mechanical problems force him out. John Waghorn with 32. John Welch, the reigning champion, scraping in with 30 points. And then Rob Gibson with 29 points. He too has car troubles, but Terry Sowden is in with 28. So this is the moment we've been building up to over the recent weeks. Our top 10 drivers here on the grid. And here is the defending champion, John Welch. And John, we really thought we'd seen the last of you. We didn't think you'd make it.
Yeah, so did I, but the mechanic's done some sterling work in the paddock. The car's not quite right, really, but I thought we'd come along, make the numbers up.
Well, you're sort of back here on the grid. You're kind of a problem, aren't you?
Yeah, obviously there's 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 four-wheel drive cars in front. We'll see what the problem is when we get to the first corner and then go from there.
Are you feeling nervous at all? Because it is a big moment.
Yeah, you do get a little... This is the worst part in the start line when you're actually waiting for the race to start, so yeah, you do get a little nervous.
And if it isn't going to be John Welch who's the champion, a final tip, please.
I think Will Gollop.
You know that John Welch has actually made it against all odds and is here on the grid. He's the defending champion. Now, he doesn't actually think you're going to win this.
Is that right?
That's right.
Well, I don't think he's going to win it.
Let's have a tip from you. Who do you think is going to win?
I think it'll be one of the cars in the front row myself.
So you look at yourself, or Will, maybe?
Or Dimi.
Or Dimi.
Could be.
Go on then, who's going to win it?
Well, it's... You know, I mean...
Come on, go for it.
I'm gonna win it, I hope.
And the front row of the grid are, in fact, Mark Rennison down there on pole position. In the centre, Will Gollop with the Metro. On the outside of the front row, number 8, Dimi Mavropoulos with the Audi Quattro. On the second row, we have number 2, Trevor Hopkins. Beside Trevor Hopkins, we have number 3, Trevor Reeves. And then on the third row of the grid, on the inside, 1, 2, 2, John Waghorn. The centre, 37, Terry Sowden. On the outside, defending champion number 1, John Welch. And then on the back, the 2 reserves who've come in to replace 44, John Smith, and 15, Rob Gibson, who are non-starters. So the 2 reserves on the back row of the grid. Gibson replaced by Tony Bardy, and also we have Dave Pritchard replacing John Smith. And as the lights go green, it's Rennison making a superb start with John Welch already up through into 4th place ahead of Dimi Mavropoulos. But it's Mark Rennison leading from Will Gollop with Trevor Hopkins in 3rd place. Then comes John Welch to Gollop hitting the bumps there as they go down, tumble downhill. But it's Mark Rennison leading then. 66 Mark Rennison from Will Gollop. Then comes Trevor Hopkins, then John Welch, Dimi Mavropoulos, Terry Sowden, Trevor Reeves, Dave Pritchard, Tony Bardy. But the leader already getting a little bit away now from number 18, Will Gollop. It's Mark Rennison. Remember, this is 4.5 laps, an extra lap of excitement here at Brands Hatch this afternoon as they come along the knife edge for the first time. It's 66 Mark Rennison, Will Gollop. Then comes Trevor Hopkins being challenged now by John Welch. A bit of a gap for Dimi Mavropoulos. Then comes Terry Sowden leading the 2-wheel drive cars, but now Will Gollop beginning to close a little bit on the leader, Mark Rennison. As they come down onto the Cooper Straight, we can see that Reeves up now into 3rd place. Clear move for Mark Rennison at the moment. Can he hold on to it down through the gears as they come into the chicane? And it's still 66 Mark Rennison from 18 Will Gollop, with John Welch coming in there fast in 3rd place ahead of Trevor Hopkins. Then Dimi Mavropoulos a little bit outclassed now with the Audi Quattro, but up front still leading as they go into lap number 2. It's 66 Mark Rennison from 18 Will Gollop. And he still, of course, has a clear view, and that will be of prime importance. But as he drifts a bit wide, Will Gollop getting onto the inside, and can Will Gollop out-accelerate him up the hill? And Will Gollop trying hard to charge for the inside, but surely Mark will move over and close the door on him. And I think Mark has just about squeezed Will Gollop out as they go into, but Will riding over the bumps there as he goes round Druids and trying hard to get on the inside of Rennison. Can't quite do it. Rennison still holding the advantage, but watch Welch there in 3rd place. This is going to be a fantastic final. They're coming up at the end of 1.5 laps, 3 full laps to go. And it's still Rennison from Gollop with Welch there in 3rd place. Hopkins down in 4th now, and Welch coming out clouds of smoke as he did accelerate over Hopkins drop, but the leaders very, very close together now, and a very sideways Mark Rennison, and equally sideways Gollop tries one side, then he looks to the other side, but he's still no way through, and in the wet, very wet conditions, Rennison driving a superb race here as they come through the chicane and up onto the top of the hill, and Welch right in there with them in third place as they go onto the top of Tumbledown Hill. Then it is still Rennison from Gollop from Welch. Still a clear view then for Mark Rennison. And of course the big advantage there is that our camera can see just what's happening. And Gollop getting very, very sideways, getting all crossed up there and losing precious lengths on the leader, Rennison. And you can see now that Gollop coming under a bit of pressure from Welch. Three of them very close together into Langley's Gap, coming down towards the completion of 2.5 laps, 2 laps to go, and it's Mark Rennison, Will Gollop and John Welch as they go along the knife edge onto Hobby's drop. John Welch noticeably dropping back now, Johnny Welch dropping back and I think slowing down in third place. John Welch I think may be in trouble, but Mark Rennison still leading from Will Gollop. Where is Welch? There he is, he's just there, but Welch is really slowing down now. Still Rennison leading from Will Gollop, and Rennison looking very, very confident there in front. This young 24-year age driver from North Yorkshire leading Will Gollop. The gap between the two leaders now quite noticeable. And Mark Rennison, second to John Welch in the British Championship in 1986, coming down, leading this race, reigning Croft and Swindon champion. Mark Rennison, top man in the European round at Linden Hill last September, and again proving his superb driving ability. But behind him, Will Gollop is getting all of those British Leyland horses in action as he pedals very hard up behind the RS200 to close that gap again. But again, the Metro gets a little bit out of line, and again he loses ground as they come through to go into their last lap, and it's still Mark Rennison leading this one as they go into their last lap. Over Hobby's drop. There we see Mark Rennison coming, just under a lap to go. Will Gollop pouring on all the pressure now. Will Gollop getting very, very close there, and I think having to momentarily lift off and lose a little bit of momentum down the Cooper Straight. That allows Mark Rennison to get away a little bit, and still that windscreen wiper hasn't been used on Mark Rennison's car. Still a clear screen, and Rennie really driving superbly there, changing up as he goes up to the top of Paddock Turn, playing from the exhaust. And Will Gollop closing right in, the ever-present Will Gollop. Tremendous battles that we've seen of late, and Will Gollop coming right in, and Will gives him a little bit of a nudge at the back. Will coming to tuck him under the back a little bit, but Rennie's completely unmoved by that in every sense of the word. And there's still Mark Rennison from Will Gollop as they go up the hill, and Mark Rennison from the north of England is leading the local boy Will Gollop with about half a lap, less than half a lap to go. Will Gollop climbing all over the curbs to try and get Rennie, but Rennie's got one corner and about 100 yards from the flag, and it looks as though Mark Rennison's going to do it for the DSRM team as they come along to the finish line, and it's Mark Rennison wins it, and Mark Rennison is the new Shallows champion. Will Gollop is second, and into third place was Johnny Welch, I think, in third place. But the young 24-year-old, he is jubilant. Mark Rennison waving there, he is absolutely over the moon. This is the greatest victory in Mark Rennison's rallycrossing career. He wins it for the DSRM team with the RS200. There is Dimmy Malbrockers now coming through in the Cyprus Airways Audi Quattro, still waiting for his new car. The two-wheel drive fraternity coming through now, and Terry Sowden in these conditions driving a super race there with the Mark II Ford Escort as he leads them home. Mark Rennison coming through there with Trevor Reeves just getting ahead of Pritchard, I think it was, at the very end.
Right, let's go in and have a word with our new TVS champion, Mark Rennison. Mark, if you can kill the engine a moment. Our new champion, well done.
Thank you very much indeed.
Good race?
Yeah, very good. I enjoyed that one.
Now, how did the car go? All right?
The car went perfect, yes. We've been trying some new tyres out today. I think they worked very well for us. It
looked to me as if the only anxious moment you had was, I think, Will gave you a helping hand, didn't he?
That's right, at the bottom of the hill there. Yeah, it's very slippy. I don't know if it was under braking, but I thought we were going to go into the tyres, but we just held it.
Did it give you a nasty moment, or were you always in charge?
Well, yes, it did, because I thought Will would have come on the inside, but we just managed to keep it.
And you were right about the camera, because, in fact, we never saw anyone else.
That's good.
So, here you are. I mean, it's a new car, it's a new occasion for you, and our new champion.
Yep.
How do you feel?
Fantastic.
Any plans for now after the celebration?
A few bottles of champagne, I think.
And a late night?
Could be.
Mark, well done. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Confirmation then of the final placings. Mark Rennison, the new champion. Will Gollop, second. John Welch, last year's winner, in third. Fourth, Trevor Hopkins. Fifth, Dimi Mavropoulos.